Good afternoon, YouTube. Hey guys, I am working on a video here that hopefully you guys will like. It was a request from Buck Chaser on Livescope, and Livescope, what it looks like when you're catching fish on the bottom with Livescope. So I got to thinking about it, and there are a lot of people that are using Livescope now. And if you're like me, when I first got mine, I had no idea what I was looking at, what to do, when. And so I decided I'm going to make this video. I'm just going through with some old Livescope footage and throwing it out there and kind of explaining what's going on. Show you some fish on the bottom, show you some fish that I've attempted to catch and didn't catch. Have some fish that just show up out of nowhere. And, I'm going to show you some shad. I'm going to show you a little bit of everything, guys. So I hope you enjoy this video. Just something that I thought I can get out there for you and hopefully help some people. So, y'all stay tuned and let's watch some videos here.
I'm an American.
So guys, one of the things what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you guys some different aspects of Livescope. We've seen Livescope in a small thing. This is going to be a little bit blurry because it is large, but I'm going to show you some catches from the bottom. I'm going to show you some catches on trees. I'm going to show you some unsuccessful catches and kind of what they look like. This was a request. I've seen, or I know a lot of people have Livescope and they're trying to figure out how to use it and how to understand it. So hopefully this video will help out. So let's get into it here. So this video right here is a prime example of catching and not catching. So I've been trying forever to catch this fish. You see him plain and simple right there. But what you don't see, or actually you'll see now, there's another fish that just popped up at the very bottom. I did not see him originally, so I'm sitting here trying to catch this one fish on the top, and look what happened. The bottom one came up and got it. Never did catch that first fish. Just tried and tried and tried, but I could not get him to bite. So with Livescope, as you can see right here, I'm on a stump. I'm going to come down and try to hit that fish right there, smack in the middle of the tree stump. So this is where people think it's you just get out there and you catch them. Well, this is a prime example of, well, they don't always bite. In this particular video, what I'm doing is trying to get right there on that fish. Now, you have to look at several things. You have to look at the stump, you have to look at the clarity of the stump, you have to look at the clarity of the jig and the fish to figure out where you are, because there is a 20-degree cone, so you could be on the other side of the fish. So if you look right here, my jig kind of disappears. I just reeled it up, but when I come back down, I'm putting it, it's a very hot spot, so is the fish. I put it right in front of him, then he finally grabs it. So it just took him a minute to wake up. So here's another video where what I'm trying to do is target these fish that are on this stump, but they're not wanting to bite. So you take a look right here, there's actually two fish there. So I finally get in front of them, and they're going to swim away. They're going to get back out in the middle. They're away from the stump at this point. There they go. They're swimming away. They're swimming away from my jig. Try to get that one there. No dice. Now all of a sudden I see one at the very bottom. Okay, so he's on the bottom. Go down there, look at how fast he sees it. Boom, he's hungry, he grabs it and goes. Those other two fish, I never caught them. So what you have to do is look around, guys. Look around, keep watching, and find targets. So I got a request from Buck Chaser to show what a fish looks like on the bottom with Livescope. So here's a good example. I did not try to catch this, or I don't think I caught this fish, but this gives you an example. So I'm gonna zoom in here, but you'll see in just a second, about 16 feet out, there it is. I'm gonna zoom in. That is a crappie that's on the bottom. You'll see them. They're just kind of standing there. They're gonna lose. I'm gonna lose sight of them here in a minute when my transducer kind of turns as I'm floating. But that's what they do. They'll just sit there on the bottom. And what you have to learn is if it's a crappie or a catfish. You can tell by the shape of the fish. So this is definitely a crappie here. So one of the hardest parts about Livescope is learning how to identify your fish. So if you take a look at this one, this is This is from the other day where I'm fighting a bunch of gizzard shad. If you look about where the 20-foot forward ring is, at the very bottom, about 4 feet down, you'll see a good-sized fish there. That is actually, well, I'm looking at it, I think that's a catfish. There's definitely a catfish at the bottom. Those very bright spots at about 8 feet out are catfish right in there. The crappie, though, there are crappie in this massive ball of gizzard shad. I caught one of these gizzard shad on the way up. You'll actually see a crappie right under my boat, about maybe a foot out on the very top of this limb, but I'm not really focusing on him. I'm looking for some of the other ones. But take a look at about 10 feet out, you start seeing some larger fish. That's where the crappie are. So they're in there feeding on those gizzard shad, but they're just kind of hanging out. So right here I've identified the crappie I want to go into and try to target here. You'll see him about 19 feet down. See my jig coming down about 4.5 feet. If you're going to watch, he's going to turn right here and swoop on it. There, well, hold on, here he comes. There he goes, he got it. So if you can tell, there's one right above there at 10 feet. Sorry for these smart notifications. I'm trying to turn that off on the phone itself or on the Garmin, but they do pop up, which ruins a lot of my footage. So anyway, that's what we're dealing with, guys. Gizzard shad, especially at this time of year, a lot of those guys, and you got to find the crappie on the inside, and that comes from learning what they look like. So right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a couple things. I'm going to go ahead and pause this video here. Take a look at this tree line. There's 2 different trees in here, and so the middle things right there are between 6 and 8 feet are gizzard shad. If you look up to the right, about 12 to 18 feet out, I believe it is, there's just a line right there. I'll try to zoom in here, and these are crappie, guys. You can tell by the shapes of them. So look at about 0 feet or 2 feet below the boat at roughly 18 feet out. There is a line. I'll zoom into this as well, but that is going to most likely be a catfish. I see a few more catfish in there. There's definitely some at the very bottom, kind of heading upward at about 18 feet out. Those are catfish. You can see by the length of them. They're long and skinny versus these ones that are kind of round. And that's really how you can tell what a catfish is versus a crappie. Just kind of how they sit on the tree, how they act. The catfish will just sit there though, just like a crappie does, and I've seen them sit higher up on a tree, but you just have to look at them based on their body shape, and that's how you can identify them. Okay, so lastly, what I'm going to do is I want you to look at these gizzard shad. It looks like a tree. You're going to see my jig come through here in just a minute, and you're going to see these gizzard shad just following the jig. Here it comes. There it is from the top. Pull up and drop it back down. Watch, they just follow in there. But one of the things you're going to be watching for, guys, is you got to look at the size of the fish. All right, these looks like a whole bunch of fun fish to catch, but they really aren't. They're not going to bite. But look at this fish I'm going toward at the bottom, the very bottom, right under the 20-foot ring, and I'm sorry that's in there. Okay, there it is. There's where the line's going down for the shad. But so this is a catfish. I just wanted to catch a catfish, but you can see how long he is. So you see the hot spot right there, but if you look off to the left, there's more fish. Just a faint. It's not as bright. That's where the tail is. I figured I'm going to try to catch a catfish for the fun of it. He didn't want to bite, but there again, that just goes to show how you have to figure out how you have to identify fish when you're using Livescope. Because if not, you're going to be wasting a lot of time. It took me, it took me 3 weeks to, really took me 2 weeks and somebody on the boat with me to show me some of this stuff. And then once I was able to kind of grasp it and get out and play with it, then I really started identifying a lot better. But in these gizzard shad, there's actually some pretty good size crappie on that tree branch, but you just can't see them. I did catch a couple out of there. In fact, on the way up on one of these pools, I actually caught a shad that was about 5 inches long. I wound up hooking him to the bottom of my jig and dropped him back down and caught a nice fish. So guys, hopefully this video has helped you out a little bit. I know for when you're just starting to use Livescope, it's a lot. You're not learning how, or you're not knowing how to adjust your depth quite right. I had mine in some of these videos. I did have it a little bit higher than I normally do it, or a little lower, I guess you can say. So I had a lot of just a lot of the bottom in the video. Part of the reason for that was because I was using it for video aspects, and I wanted to get the little ring, all the information at the bottom. I wanted to get that off of there. I like to see it. I like to know where I'm at, so I don't want to delete it out of there. But yeah, hopefully you can understand, kind of what I was doing. It takes a while to learn these fish. It takes a while to figure out how big they are, the sizes. But what you'll figure out over time is once you catch a fish and you see it down there, and you catch another one that's bigger, and then you remember what that looked like. And the biggest thing is, what you're going to find is, if you're fishing in 10 foot of water, those fish are going to look huge. If you're fishing in 20 foot of water, the picture is condensed, so the fish looks a little bit smaller. But anyway, guys, I hope you got something out of this video. If you did, smash that like button for me. If you're not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We're going to be putting out more videos like this. And I just thank you guys who are subscribers and who do watch this all the time. Thanks for being a part of the channel. And y'all have a great week.